All right, I've got 5 quick tips on how to be a more influential, more compelling public speaker. Tip number 1 is to make one singular point. I get the most pushback on this with clients because we all have so much knowledge and passion around what we're talking about. But we need to compile it and condense it into a singular point. Have as many supporting facts and points as you like, but make sure you're delivering one very clear message. This is important because when the listener leaves, they need to be able to recall the information, and it has to be repeatable. That's the only way to evoke action. So that was tip number 1, make one clear point. All right, tip number 2 is about your slides. If you're insistent upon using slides, the very best slides should be big picture, short phrase. This reinforces the message that is coming from you. You should be the focus of the talk, not the slides. If you need more information on a slide and you're just intent on sharing more text, then give the audience time to actually read it. Research shows that only about 2% of us humans are able to read and listen at the same time. So if we are talking while the listener is trying to read and listen, we're diluting both messages. So that's tip number 2, make your slides very simple, big pictures, short phrases. All right, tip number 3. We all have a natural tone and cadence with which we speak. Whatever yours is, lean into it. That's your brand. However, make sure that you vary it. Nobody is going to stay intrigued and focused if you keep the same tone and cadence all the way through. There are times when you might want the audience to feel a little bit overwhelmed. That's when you can speed up and just add point after point after point. In an effort to do what I call stacking, that can be sped up. But when you really get down to making something very clear and memorable, slow down, use your pauses, and make the statement as if it's the most important point of your talk. So that's tip number 3. Make sure to vary your tone and your cadence. All right, tip number 4. Nobody wants to be told. Nobody wants to sit back and think that the way that their perspective is, or whatever they believe to be true, is wrong. We don't want to ever debate our audiences. The very best way to do that is to share a fear or an insecurity of your own. This makes you real, this makes you relatable, this builds trust. So make sure that you're not only sharing your knowledge and your skill, share a time where you were fearful or you felt insecure about something. And again, this makes you relatable, which builds trust. And this takes me to my 5th tip, and it is this. Before you tell somebody what you believe, ask yourself this question: how did I learn this? Therein lies your story. A story is the most powerful way to share what you profess to be true. So rather than just telling someone what you know or telling someone what you've learned, ask yourself how you learned it. There's your story. So those are your 5 tips for being a more influential, more effective public speaker.